Welcome to the first episode of To Gilbert. I'm Rob Hundley with Asher Kime Real Estate, your To Gilbert guy. We have launched a super local website dedicated to highlighting what is great about Gilbert. Over the course of time, we're going to be interviewing local business owners, community leaders, school people, all the folks that work to make this community great. Before we do that, though, I thought it might be helpful for you to know a little bit about me. What's my story? Well, I spent the first 25 years or so of my career as a local church minister, serving churches in New England and Colorado. I retired from that and became a small business owner for about 10 years before moving down here to Arizona to be closer to family and friends. Now, I still do weddings because it's just so much fun. And besides, I'm kind of a sap for romance. But then I got into real estate. Real estate? Why real estate, Rob? Well, I'm glad you asked. Buying a house was the single biggest decision that I'd ever made. It was so much more than just a simple transaction about siding and shingles. My house, my home was an extension of me and my family. And so it had to fit. It had to be the right house. Beyond that, though, I learned that owning a house provided a tremendous amount of financial advantage. As they say, nothing makes you save like a mortgage. Over the years, my equity grew and grew. And now I'm at a point where I can do what I want to do. For me, a big part of being in real estate is being able to help others achieve that same dream, that same goal. Speaking of goals, what are my goals? Well, before moving down here, one of the greatest compliments I got was from a former employee. She had asked me if I knew anybody who could help her with some car repairs. I rattled off 3 or 4 local garages, and she kind of looked back at me amazed and said, "Is there anybody in this town that you don't know?" I love relationships. More importantly, I love being able to connect people with relationships that's going to help both parties. A win-win type of arrangement. For me, when I can do that, that's a good day. That's one of my biggest goals. But enough about me. What is it about Gilbert? What is it about this city that we share, that we either work in or live in or aspire to, that makes it so great? When we first moved down here, we looked at a couple of different areas. We kept finding ourselves, though, comparing that area to Gilbert and finding that it wasn't quite the same. It didn't quite add up. It's hard to put my finger on it, but there's just something about the vibe, the energy, the feel here that feels like home. And to me, that's such a big thing, something that I want to try to encourage and support and see grow. And not just something to take for granted either, but for something to be able to really work at. When I found out about being a local ambassador and sponsoring a super local website through parkbench.com, it was just a natural fit for me. Again, coming back to those win-win relationships. Being able to sit down and talk to local business owners, restaurateurs, shop owners, service providers, and hear their story. And then to be able to share that through the internet with you. That seems like such a great thing, something to be able to really highlight and celebrate. More than that, community leaders. As I said, school folks, going and talking to a principal for a good reason rather than being called to the principal's office, which I've got stories about that from my past as well. Being a part of this community and taking my role and my responsibility in this community seriously, being able to provide that to you. That's what parkbench.com is going to be able to provide. Now, you're going to meet some of these people through these interviews, so you're going to know them before you go to their shop, before you go to their restaurant, before you call them to provide a service for you. Through the website here, they may also offer you deals. They may just be a great place to kind of interact, to ask them questions, etc. This is a work in process. I'm not quite sure how it's all going to turn out. Certainly there are going to be times where we fall short, but there are going to be more times, I think, where we succeed. And that's part of what I want to ask you now is, do you know a local shop owner, a local restaurant, a local service provider, or a community leader that I could interview? Just spend 5-7 minutes talking about who they are, why they do what they do, what it is about Gilbert that they see as such a great thing, and then being able to share that. Could you point me in their direction? One of the things about this, and it's about marketing. I understand, and marketing myself as a real estate agent, but also marketing them and what they do. But the part about this that is so amazing is this is entirely and completely free to them. It's just about getting the word out. So if you know somebody like that, or if you are somebody like that, I would love to meet them. I would love to meet you. That's it for the first episode. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope that you'll keep watching and come back to the website. Parkbench.com/Santan Valley is one. There are several others of some of the other communities in the Gilbert area. Come on back and we'll keep this going. I'm Rob Hundley with Asherkheim Real Estate, your go-to Gilbert guy.